Mark Drakeford has done it again. He's once again introduced an incompetent anti-science tyranny onto the people of Wales. How long do we have to tolerate this? I don't know. Now, a lot of people in the media in this country are more concerned about England, things that happened in England rather than Wales or Scotland. Classic. Everything in Britain is London-centric anyway. But let's talk about Wales and let's talk about Mark Drakeford, the guy who, creates rules but breaks them himself, goes to parties and dances with no face coverings. Yep. He's now saying that in Wales, you can go to a pub, but you can't go to work. Completely abandoning science, completely rejecting common sense and basic facts about life and how humans actually operate. I'm not really sure, to be fair, if I were in Wales, with what I do for a living, I'll be fine with that, because everybody would prefer to just go to a pub by force and not go to work by force. But jokes aside, it's actually not just damaging to the economy or the industries in Wales and everything else been happening in terms of the financial damage, and also put aside the problems that we have when it comes to civil liberties. This is actually dangerous to public health. The way they've completely abandoned science is actually bad for, the Labour-run NHS in Wales is as bad, probably worse, than NHS England in terms of completely ignoring the patients that have any other illness, whether it's cancer or anything else that they have regular checks, that is completely being ignored. This is a guy who's, for some reason, introducing the rule of six, the same rule of six that when England did, Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock at the time, a year ago, they stopped it because people made fun of it. Scientists made fun of it because it was nonsensical. They came up with a number at a cabinet meeting with Michael Gove, and they were saying, well, let's just see, should we do 5, should we do 6 or 7? And then, they just randomly decided, let's go with 6. That's not how you do policy. That's not how you do policy based on science. He's doing it again. I'm not really sure why people in Wales are not completely kicking him out. And I'm waiting to see how long it will take for the opinion polls and the next election in Wales to actually show some good results. Because, yes, I know that a lot of people are against Plaid Cymru and the Tories are not really that popular. But do something about it. You can't just keep voting Labour by default. It's really, really bad. Now, let's talk about the other one that she keeps winning by default, and that's Nicola Sturgeon. Both Scotland and Wales have decided to introduce rules, restrictions, overreaction based on the new variant. Now, a lot of people are saying, is it that Sturgeon and Drakeford, Scotland and Wales, that they're seeing data that we're not seeing? Because we're looking at the data. This is the data from Scotland, and this is the actual new cases that, the thing that we say ignore because that keeps going up. But of course, it doesn't really correlate when it comes to hospital cases or fatalities. Even the cases are going down. Even that's not doubling every day. This is Scotland. You can see the data. That's the new cases. And this is Wales. Again, what is going on here? What happened to doubling every single day? What happened to this chaos that you were saying? Why are they creating restrictions based on no scientific data? Why? This is something that we don't know. Is it something they know we don't know? Are they wise? Are they wise leaders? That they're even better than Boris Johnson? If even Boris Johnson is not doing any Christmas restrictions, he's not brave enough, so he's going to do it after Christmas. But seriously, Nicola Sturgeon and Mark Drakeford, the reason they can do all this is because they keep winning by default. There is no opposition. We keep saying that in London and in England, there's no opposition for Boris Johnson, Keir Starmer. But technically speaking, even Starmer is some opposition in terms of visibility, his face. Even though he keeps agreeing with Boris Johnson, in Scotland and Wales, there's absolutely no visible opposition. So, there's no surprise that Sturgeon and Drakeford could do whatever they want. They could fall into scandals, national scandals, and continue to ruin people's lives. We're not going to let that happen. I know I have a lot of subscribers and followers in Wales and Scotland. You're watching it right now. Share this video. Send it everyone around Wales, around Scotland, because someone has to talk about this. TV channels are not talking about it. Some good radio presenters are talking about certain stories about Wales and Scotland. Well, we have to do it because there's nobody else. But we're going to do it thanks to your support, and we're going to continue to do it every single day. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I'm Maya Tousi, and we are the media.